Los Angeles Rams with Wayne coaching, visiting Seattle with Dennis. And this is a quarterfinal matchup for SOMIFA. So far, Tampa Bay and Cincinnati have moved into the quarterfinals. Semifinals, rather. This is a quarterfinal game. A couple of coaches here that have won SOMIFA championships. Wayne won quite a few years ago, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and I think Dennis won like 5 years ago. And first play, we've got to look into Austin Eckler for 2 yards. Carson Wentz quarterbacking the Rams. Rams have a lot of young players. Wayne had some bad luck with quarterbacks for a few years, and so he wasn't winning a lot and was still drafting really well. And he's got several of the real prime players at positions like Quentin Nelson, Myles Garrett. We've got both teams that have huge running backs. Fournette, I believe, had 6 yards a carry and like 1,800 yards. And Dennis has got Mark Ingram, who just finished short of 100 yards a game. So a couple of big-time lead running backs going in this game. Let me make sure I share this out. Don't forget to tell what these little links say. Okay. So the Rams have a 1st and 10 at their 35. Let's see what we missed here. Looks like Wentz came up on a 3rd down and took off running, picked up 8 yards. There's another 2-yard completion. Fournette. So Wentz is 2 for 3 for 4 yards at the moment. And the Seahawks have the good pass defense. And, of course, we've got the normal average going for the Rams. Malcolm Brown's in, and he got quite a few carries as well. I want to say he was around 500 yards. You'll see, I believe it's Frank Gore is Seattle's second back, and he'll get in quite a bit of action as well. There's a left flat pass to Eckler, 1 man in zone. He's got 10 yards. You'll see Eckler being used sometimes in the backfield, but he plays split out as a receiver quite a bit with the Rams. So we've got a 1st and 10 at their own 47 here. There's a long pass to Ted Ginn. It's going to drop incomplete. Ginn's got 12 units guessed right on his long pass card. Hey, Tom. So Brown gets 6 yards. It looks like I missed another play. Eckler being double teamed picked up 1. And so we've got a 3rd and 3 here at the Seattle 32. Hoping I'm still broadcasting. I accidentally shut down a window that hopefully isn't keeping me from broadcasting here. So 3rd and 3 at the Seattle 32, right on the cusp of field goal range. Seattle staying in a 4-3. Line but guess wrong for Eckler. And he's going to pick up the first down. I'm just going to be listening in. Got him added to the broadcast here. I'll try to keep an eye on that. Make sure if anybody joins, we get him on. Looks like I'm on as a guest and the host. Okay, great. Okay, so here we go. 1st and 10 at the Seattle 25. Here's Wentz throwing flat to Fournette, who picks up 7 on a linebacker 6-0. And Rams having a good first drive. 2nd and 3 at the Seattle 18. We'll see if Dennis shows blitz here. Seattle the 1 seed, and the Rams are the 8. Rams had a great middle of the season, if I'm not mistaken. They started a little slow, won 7 of 8 in the middle, and won a playoff game in the first round to get to where they're at now. And now we've still got a 3rd and 3. Graham Glasgow, a 5, could not make the block. It would have required a 6. So we've got another big 3rd down. Wentz has completed a short gain on a 3rd down and 10 earlier to keep this drive going, and there's no blitz being shown. 2 wide receiver, 2 tight end, and a 4-3. Eckler in the backfield. So while Eckler ran it last time, and the Rams and the Seahawks both run the ball a lot, Eckler definitely gives you a extra receiving option out of the backfield. It's incomplete to Josh Reynolds there. So we got a 4th and 3 at the 18. Crosby in for the field goal, and it's good on a 10. You always think those 2 through 9 guys, there's only one missing if versus a 2 through 10, and then when the 10 comes up, you really miss not having that 2 through 10 or 2 through 11 kicker short. But Crosby able to put the points on the board there, keeping about a 50-yard drive from not registering on the scoreboard. So we got Mark Ingram. Russell Wilson had just a crazy year, something like a 34-4 touchdown interception ratio. Probably his best year in SOMIFA. He ended up with a 100 quarterback rating this year. So we've got DC running a blocking back set. Rams use the 3-4 defense. See it bookends defensive end 6s and a 5 nose tackle. Here's Ingram gaining 6 on 1st down. As I mentioned, he just fell short of 1,600 yards. Quite a few touchdowns. Seattle's one of those teams that had very, very few turnovers and caused quite a few. So they won the turnover battle quite often. Here's an incomplete short to Ingram. Ingram's got a great receiving card. So we're at 3rd and 4. And Seattle stays in the base blocking back set, of course. These are 2 coaches that must pay their punters by the kick. They don't use them very often. So we'll see a lot of teams going in this game, going for 4th down. Here's short to Preston Williams. And Wilson hits him, 12-yard pickup out to the 43. Seattle picks up the first down. As you'll see in SOMIFA, there is not very many possessions. With the rule set, no penalties, teams end up with very solid offenses, and there's a sack. Anthony Walker picking up the sack. Looks like Armstead caused the sack there. Dwayne Brown a 7, but Armstead 13 got all the way up to 1 through 40 on the sack chance there, and it was a 36. So even if you're going against a 7, if you've got one of those elite pass rushers, they will definitely get through and harass the quarterback. So 2nd and 14, staying in the base set. We're going to go short to Tyreek Hill. It's going to be a dump off, 7 yards to Preston Williams, and sets up a more manageable 3rd and 7. As I mentioned, you'll see these teams going for it on 4th down, so don't be surprised to see Seattle stay at a running set and look to get to a makeable 4th down. And they will. 2 tight end, 2 receiver, 1 running back with Ingram. Rookie TJ Hawkinson comes into the game. Hasn't beat out Will Dissly so far this year, but next year we may see Hawkinson move into the starting lineup for the Seahawks. Blitzing here, or showing blitz. So we'll see what comes up here, 3rd and 7. To the left side, Russell Wilson's going to take off on a must run and pick up 19 yards. Who needs an end run on their quarterback card when you can get a must run for 19? So we had a potential sack there. No chance for Armstead. We're using his asterisk rating there, and Mark Ingram makes the block. Random of 74, so Armstead didn't get close on that one. 1st and 10. Russell Wilson's got a 3-snap fumble, pretty low. I think Wentz is going to be probably 7 or 8. He had like 10 fumbles. That's one of Wentz's issues, actually, early in his career. He's got one of the lowest interception percentage career-wise in history. He kind of looks like Dak there. You see, them coming in the same year, and both of them super low interception percentages. But don't really have a fumble issue with Dak. He's more normal, something like, half a fumble per game. But Wentz is up like 0.8, 0.9 fumbles per start. So he's always going to have a little more of an issue until he gets that corrected with snap fumbles, must-run fumbles, linebacker fumbles, things like that. And it's really one of the major differences between the two of them going into this year, I thought. But obviously Wentz had a big regression, and I'm sure it's caused Wayne some trepidation on what the future looks like. When I had picked Dak 2nd overall, I traded up to 2, knowing Wayne had number 1 a few years ago. I was perfectly content to take whoever dropped. I would have taken Wentz had I had the number 1 pick, but he took Wentz. And when I made the trade, like I say, I was totally comfortable. I asked Wayne who he was going to pick. He said Wentz after I'd made the trade, so I didn't even ask him beforehand. I was very comfortable with either one. I still like Wentz. I rated him really highly as a rookie, and really liked what I was seeing. As everybody saw this year, though, there was definitely some regression and a lot of hesitancy. You saw a lot of that with Prescott in his 2nd season as his receivers were declining. You started seeing more hesitancy with Dak his 2nd year, and then his 3rd year, it really became, there's a fumble. Wilson, it's recovered by Ronald Leary, but Wilson with the snap fumble check of 1. Actually, Wilson is a 1 snap fumble. Excuse me. I was looking at his must-run fumble earlier. So Wilson with the minimal snap fumble does lose 1 there. But the Seahawks recover, and 4th and 8 at the Rams 33. They're going to go for it. Dennis would rather go for the first down and defend an extra 13 yards if the coffin corner punt goes into the end zone versus just punting it away and playing by the book. So we're going to see the Rams in a blitz. We'll see what happens. Not unlike coaches in SOMIFA to look for the long pass here. As I was mentioning earlier, you saw that hesitancy in Prescott. If you watch quarterback play closely, his third year took a lot more sacks than he normally took. And fortunately for the Cowboys or the SOMIFA Bucks, he's kind of corrected that problem. And he definitely, fourth and the little bit of his fifth year he played, he definitely corrected that and was not holding on to the ball nearly as much. And it's definitely something I look at when I'm looking at quarterbacks just for, there's a 6-yard completion, but it's not enough for the first down. So turning it over on downs, Seattle doesn't get any points on their first possession, and the Rams up 3-0, take over. But I worry about that with like Deshaun Watson, because you're going to take hits, even though sack percentage is not factor into strat ratings. It can cause fumbles, and like I say, just the toll of getting hit. And I believe it was Tom Cook brought up one time, Deshaun Watson's built like a receiver, not a quarterback. And I worry about that a little bit more with guys like him than bigger, stronger guys. Wentz is one of those guys who looks like a bigger, stronger guy, but he kind of falls awkwardly. I don't know. He's a little gangly to me, and just doesn't always fall well. When he trips or is running around, it just seems like he takes really hard hits sometimes. And some of those things kind of, like I say, concern me on young quarterbacks. But back to the game, we've got a 2nd and 10. Carson Wentz unable to find Fournette as there was 2 men in the zone. But you got a couple of the quarterbacks that we consider franchise-style quarterbacks that you don't really draft a replacement for once you get them, unless you're Tampa Bay, I suppose. 4 yards for Malcolm Brown here, and Colin McGarry makes the block on an off-tackle run. So we got a 3rd and 6. And again, I alert that these teams both go for it a lot on 4th down, so don't be totally shocked to see the Rams consider going for it if this gets manageable. We're going long to Josh Reynolds. Wentz takes off and falls awkwardly, but gets 7 yards and picks up the first down. So we've got Wentz now with a couple of runs for 15 yards, scrambling and picking up first downs. So far, we've had 3 must-run first downs, 2 from Wentz, 1 from Russell Wilson. Here's a flat pass to Eckler, 1 man in zone. Gets to right. Picks up 6. Defense was looking at Clay. So we've got a 2nd and 4. Fournette back in the backfield. And again, Fournette's a horse. He had 1,800 yards in SOMIFA this year at 6 yards a carry. Got several really big plays. I mean, he can score from almost anywhere on the field. I think he's got a plus 81, so it's a danger to go all the way at any time. Defense looking for Fournette, and now going to Clay, who's double-teamed the play before, get a linebacker 6-0 and 7-yard pickup. It's a lot of territory for those non-sixes to cover out in the flats. It's one of the rules I really like of Stratomatic. The old original board game, I always felt like that was one of the things, the flat pass with 1 man was just not really enough meat on the bone there. There's Fournette with guess wrong 2-yard gain. As you see there, he's got a long gain on 4 and a plus 81 on 12. So dangerous guess wrong runner. Malcolm Brown comes in on 2nd and 8. Fournette, first carry of the game. So he's got a lot of carries remaining and no injuries in the postseason. We've got the playoff level medical staff out here for each team, so they're going to keep guys on the field. There's an off tackle guessed wrong. Extra man in the zone, 15 yards, Malcolm Brown. And the Rams have moved the ball inside the Seattle 40 for the second time. They're at the 32. You know, Wayne doesn't want another field goal attempt here, but he definitely doesn't want to fall out of field goal range either. He'd like to get in the end zone. Here's a line butt for Fournette. Guess wrong. He's going to get 9 yards. Setting up 2nd and 1. So we're in the second quarter, only 2 runs for Fournette, and we haven't seen Ingram run a lot, so lead horse for each team setting pretty. And we got a rare full house formation being shown at 2nd and 1. I see some coaches do use this in other leagues more than I do in SOMIFA, but you definitely get the bonus running, and you can create some interesting situations. And it makes a difference there as V2V makes the block, being loaned by the defensive coordinator over the offense there. He comes in and makes a block, which he wasn't going to make without the full house. So there's reason behind the madness going full house in a situation like that. If you're already thinking of running, like I say, get the defense to really commit with short yardage defense, and it does open up some big play opportunities in the passing game sometimes too. So blocking back set with Fournette. He's going to take an end run left, guess wrong. He's got 12 yards, and all of a sudden, we've got the Rams at the Seahawks 10, 12 minutes left, up 3-0. These are the, as I mentioned, 2 of the coaches that have already won championships in SOMIFA. Jay Villing, who is also the previous champ that's in these playoffs, has already advanced to the semifinals, so the winner of this game will join them there. If Seattle wins, they'll play the winner of the Jets-Raiders game. If the Rams win, they will go to Cincinnati. And that would leave the winner of the Raiders-Jets game to go to Tampa Bay. So we'll see what goes on. We got a 1st and 10 blitz being shown. Off left tackle Eckler. No gain. Solid offensive line. You got 7 pass blockers from Quentin Nelson at left guard, and from the right tackle, Brian O'Neill. For tight end, Foster Island of Dr. Moreau. And run left Eckler. This will be guessed wrong. This may be the play. Determines whether we're going to get a punt or a field goal. A touchdown or a field goal attempt. And at this point, field goal attempt is looking a lot more likely, as Eckler only gets 1. And in a crowded field, 3rd and goal from the 9, you might even see Seattle go to something with no middle linebacker. Three wide receiver, 1 halfback shotgun. There's no flat passes inside the 10. Sometimes coaches will take their middle linebacker out here. He stays 3-3-5 with the blitz. He's going to give himself at least a chance to call run. And nobody can shadow, I don't believe, inside the 10, so no worries about Wentz picking up another must-run first down. Incomplete on the pass to Foster Moreau. And Mason Crosby makes it again on a 10. Been a little shaky. He's gotten pretty close to that right upright, but both times been able to keep it in the money. And here's a kickoff to the goal line. We'll see if Sims is going to take a knee. No, he's coming out, and he's got a nice card, and he gets 32 yards, taking advantage of a below average kickoff return coverage unit. And Sims has a touchdown, so even against a good unit, you probably take it out there quite a few times. Take your shot at the touchdown, and if you lose a yard because you only get 24 from the goal line, that's not a bad risk. So down 6-0. We got Rex Burkhead in the game. He's one of those guys that continues to play with good strat cards and Dennis takes the time out. I think Burkhead may have been on the field when he wasn't supposed to be. And here's Ingram in a 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver set as the lone running back. So Burkhead trying to get some action, but the offensive coordinator noticed it, called down to the head coach. He's like, hey, he's not supposed to be in there. This is Ingram's down. So DC takes the timeout. 9:54 left. As I mentioned, both backs have tons of carries left, so this game could slow down. Flat pass. Will Dissly breaks it for a long gain. He's going down the sideline all the way to the Rams' 30-yard line. He gets 38 yards. Stepped out of bounds before he could get the full 45 as he was getting a little gas there, and as a tight end still can be capped on the pass, and he was there. But Dennis will certainly take it now, 1st and 10 at the Rams 30. Ingram gets right, loses a yard, 2 carries, 5 yards. You may not see, since he's got, both guys have so many carries at this point in the game, you may not see the second backs near as much as you normally would. You can see what Aaron Jones finished up with in the earlier game, but he had over 100 yards, I noticed, and he's one of those lead back types that get you a lot of yards. There's Vita V making another play, 2 yards, this time on the defensive side of the ball. It's one of those really good second-round picks that Wayne seems to make almost every year. He takes the guy everybody's a little leery of, and a year later, they're like, I wish I would have taken him late first. Nose tackles who are 5s, a lot of value in this league to me. So 3 wide receiver, halfback, shotgun versus a 3-3-5 blitz on 3rd and 9 from the 29. Seattle unhappy with their first 2 downs here, moving a yard after the big play to Dissly. Now they're up against it, 3rd and 9. DC would take the field goal here if it was 4th and 9, but we'll see what happens. There's a flat pass to an empty zone. It's going to be guessed right, but he's picking up 10 yards. And let's see what the pass rush. Yeah, if the man had been there, that would not have been a white die 6. But in getting play, white die was a 4 once you get past the pass rush. It was a pretty good pass rush. He had a 22 chance there, which is pretty high going against the 7. And we saw Armstead get past Dwayne Brown earlier, but not this time. Tampa Bay traded, we acquired Dwayne Brown from, I believe, Atlanta, from Nathan, who had picked him up and turned into a great offensive tackle. And I picked him up, and he was pretty important for us in a year where we had a couple 1,000-yard runners and Doug Martin and LaShawn McCoy. But then our team kind of fell apart, and Dwayne Brown basically was traded almost straight up for Tevin Coleman. It was a bigger deal, but that was basically what we were swapping there, guys that were about mid to early second round value. And we had some other swaps. Steve Smith, I believe, went to the Seahawks. So we're at 3rd and 6 now. Anytime I play a SOMIFA game, I'm always remembering history over the years. I think several of you guys do too. So my apologies if I'm bringing up too much history here. So we've got a blitz being shown. And it's Preston Williams being double teamed, a big sack. Myles Garrett gets through on 7 pass blocking. Alejandro Villanueva 1 through 29, and he got the 17. So we've seen both defensive ends get through to the quarterback against sevens. And it's a 6-3 game as Seattle gets the kick. And we got 6 minutes left in a low-scoring game. As I mentioned earlier, there's not a lot of possessions in SOMIFA games with no penalties and a lot of talent at the running back, quarterback position with 24-team league, etc. There's very much a tendency to, instead of like a 12, 14 possession game, there's a lot of games where there's 8 or 9 possessions. I think my playoff game, if I'm not mistaken, there was like 8 and 7 or 8 and 8. And like I say, you see this pretty common in SOMIFA, especially with some of these ball control offenses that run the ball frequently, like these two teams or Tampa Bay teams are up around 48, 50% running. A lot of times there's only 8 or 9 possessions in a game. So while it's only 6-3, the Rams have the ball, and if they were to score a touchdown, and Fournette breaks a long gain all the way down to the Seattle 12, 37 yards. We were just talking about Fournette earlier having a lot of big playability, and he's got 4 carries, 60 yards. And he's got a lot of unfatigued carries, 23. As I mentioned, these are both championship-level coaches, and I'm sure Dennis is a little concerned here. You don't want to fall down by 2 scores. Dennis will get the second half kickoff. Rams have put up field goals on both of their possessions. Seattle got one on their second possession, and the Rams on their third possession, threatening from the 12. Blitz being shown. It's going to be a look into Eckler. Nobody there. But guessed right on the quarterback card. Guessed wrong on the receiver card. +6. Second and 4. We may see the full house. A lot of running teams like the full house inside the 10. If you got a decent second tight end, you'll see the heavy jumbo set going 3 wide receiver, 2 running back. Full house shotgun. Did notice Wayne has used the shotgun inside the 10 when I was watching their earlier game. It's going to be a linebacker, guessed right, Malcolm Brown. He's got 4 yards. So we're down to the 2, first and goal. And 3:36 left. Seattle's like, if you're going to score a touchdown, let's get it over with. Give me some time. Got Kuechly and Harrison Smith, a pair of 6s to help jam the middle. And there's no shotgun. 4-3 defense with blitz being shown against the full house. Would not be surprised to see Wayne keep the ball on the ground here. And he's going to run an end run left to Eckler. Some big negatives there, but he gets into the end zone, trying to avoid running into a stacked front. And Austin Eckler picks up the first touchdown of the game on a 12-yard run. And Max Crosby gets it a little more centered this time. And the Rams take a 13-3 lead over the number 1 seed Seahawks. So kickoff only goes to the 8, and Stephen Smith, or excuse me, didn't mean that insult on anybody. Steven Sims gets a 27-yard return. And with 3 minutes left, down 13-3, Seattle has the ball. No panic will be shown by Seattle. They've won a lot of games they've been down in. He knows how to navigate choppy waters. Staying in a base blocking back set, 3-4 defense. Plenty of time. Get a maximum of 17 plays from 2 minutes on if everything worked out right. So plenty of time. And Ingram guessed wrong, comes up with a 0 there. So Ingram is not running so well early, 5 carries, 11 yards. Still fresh, but he hasn't been producing so far. 2nd and 10. Dennis is like, this is where I miss my Russell Wilson end run card. Go into something like a shotgun set and then run it Russell Wilson end run, hoping the defense is pinching in. No blitz being shown. Blocking back 3-4 blocking back versus 3-4. It's going to be short to Tyreek Hill. Again, 10-yard pickup. It's going to be a first down. It'll be 6 for 10 for Wilson, 83 yards, and he scrambled for a first down as well. So Seattle's out to their own 45 at the 2-minute warning. No blitz being shown. 3-4. Linebacker Ingram guessed wrong. For Dennis, seems like Ingram is riding the 5 right now. You don't mind those as much guess right as you do guess wrong. So at the Seattle 45, they've got a 2nd and 10, no blitz. Base offense, base defenses. Preston Williams working against a 0 and Disley against a 4, with blocking back Vital being guarded by a 4. It's going to be a draw to Ingram off tackle. He's going to pick up 15. Ingram finally gets a nice run. And at the Rams 40, 2 timeouts left. Seattle just comes to the line of scrimmage. Wilson calling plays off the cuff. Defense stays in the 3-4. Of course, they don't get a chance to change or hurry up, but they could have shown blitz, and he's not showing blitz. Could have something to do with the score. You're a little more worried about giving up the sniper scope when you're well ahead versus when you're needing to make a play on defense. So 13-3, 1:15 left. We've got a 2nd and 7 at the Rams 37. Offense stays in hurry-up mode, conserving the 2 timeouts. Base offense, base defense, 2nd and 7, Rams 37. You know Seattle at least wants to get a field goal. Short to Disley, being double-teamed, Wilson threads the needle and drops it right in. Will Disley, 23 catches, 11.4 in the NFL. Being a Seahawk, no surprise, he ended up with Dennis. Seems like he had another Seahawk tight end a few years ago. I don't remember his name offhand, but it's not the first Seahawk tight end he's had. So we've got base offense, base defense, 45 seconds left, down to the last timeout. Still time to run. 7 plays potentially. There's a flat pass right to Vital. He's going to get 4 yards. Thank goodness it wasn't a 6, Wayne's thinking, because that would have been plus 30. We've got a 2nd and 6 at the Rams 21, so solidly in field goal range, but down 10. think Seattle realizes this would be a really important one to get the touchdown on if possible. You may see him, now that sack is not going to knock you out of field goal range, you may see him look for the end zone one of the next play or two. No free safety blitz being shown. Wayne's been hitting some of the double teams on the drive, but Wilson's been able to move the chains all the same. It's going to be a flat to Ingram, and this man is vacated. No defender, so that was a prime reading as long as it didn't come off Russell Wilson's card. And Ingram picks up 9. And we got a 1st and 10, 30 seconds left at the Rams 12. So I'm not a big fan of the spike, but the spike comes into play here. If you were to run it, probably going to want to conserve your timeout so you don't get in a situation where you have to choose between a field goal and or not having a field goal option and not being able to get the field goal unit on in time. So could see a spike if it happens to stay in bounds here and conserve that last time out. There's a 5-yard pickup from Ingram, does not get out of bounds. That's the dilemma Dennis is in. If he goes hurry up, 8 seconds left, so I think he's going to spike it myself. And he will. So we've got a 3rd and 5 now at the Rams 7. See what kind of set he goes to here. He's going to stay in the blocking back set with Ingram. Thought you might see the rookie Hawkinson here, but he's going to stay with the blocking back set. Ingram's got a lot of, as you can look at his end run card on screen, he's got a lot of +5 or better, so you can't guarantee he wouldn't pick up the first down, but with 15 seconds left, he really needs the 7 because if you use that timeout, you're not going to be able to spike the ball now and have more than a second left. So if you use the timeout, you're stuck with one play and either a field goal attempt or going for the touchdown. So it's a little more pressure than you might normally have from the 7 because it is 3rd down and 5. And we're down to 1 timeout. So Seattle's got some things to think about here. If it's a sack, you just kick the field goal. Russell Wilson would love to have a must run come up here. It's going to be off tackle left Ingram. He's only going to get a yard, and I get a feeling we've got a field goal attempt coming. It's never a guarantee. With Dennis, he could look at going for the touchdown, but Dennis normally is nicer to his field goal kickers than he is his punchers. He'll let them come in and kick the gimme field goals. And we've got a 13-6 game at the half. Rams up. Seattle gets it back to a 1-score game. And the kickoff's a yard deep. Probably see Sims come out against the Rams coverage, and he gets 24 yards. So gets it out to the 23. Both runners, lead runners for each team, ready to carry the load in the second half if need be. Fresh and available. So far, all the kickers have made their kicks. We've had 3 field goal attempts. They've all been good, and little things like that can make a difference in a game like this. Low-scoring affair, 13-6. Opening minute of the second half. 2nd and 6 coming up. Tyreek Hill's got 2 for 14. Wilson 10 of 15 for 112 at the moment. Long to Tyreek Hill. He's being double teamed, and it's going to be incomplete. Pretty sure that's incomplete. I don't think it's a must run. No. Incomplete either way. Wayne's been calling a great defense so far as hitting double teams. Those things can be hit or miss. A game yesterday morning where I hit like 3 correct double teams first 2 possessions. I think I missed like 15 in a row after that. So especially if a guy's working the flats against you and you're only getting 1 legitimate double team from a free safety, you can get really cold on those and basically have a man off the field on almost every play. So 4th and 6, Ingram being stopped as Armstead makes a great defensive play. And Seattle forced a punt. And Wayne, up 7, brings the Rams on the field at their own 26. Fournette's got a ton of carries left. Dennis knows that, and Wayne knows Dennis knows that. So Wayne might start looking to do some passing. And Fournette goes up the middle for 23. So he's got 5 for 83. So far, the big player, offensive player of the game. As I mentioned, Wayne may take advantage of the fact that it looks like a run situation and start passing some more. Here's a short pass to Clay. Guess wrong. It's going to get 15. And just like that, the Rams are at the Seattle 36. A little over 3 minutes into the second half, Rams driving up by 7. And I believe we're already in 4-down territory for Wayne. So it's going to put a little more pressure on the defense here. It's going to be off tackle left, guess right for Fournette. No block made. Colin McGarry, only a 4. Misses a block. Most of the offensive tackles in the league are going to make, so only gets 3 there. And Seattle is showing blitz here. Let's see if they can get on top of the sticks and get the down distance into a situation where Wayne is not able to go for 4th down. It's going to be a draw, guess wrong to Fournette. He's going to pick up 4. So very manageable 3rd and 3 now. It's going to be interesting if Wayne were to be at 4th and 3, 4th and 1 or 2. He's a guy that normally goes for it, but up 13-6 in the second half, be down to 3 or 4 possessions per team. Might just go ahead and take the kick. I know I do sometimes. Maybe a situation, a neutral situation, I'd go for it, but especially in the second half, you like extending to a 2-score lead when you can. I made a choice like that on like a 4th and 1 in my game, and my rookie field goal kicker missed it, but I still felt good about the decision. It's like I say, it's a big deal if you can get up 2 scores in the second half of the game, especially, or late first half, just due to the sparsity of possessions we see in SOMIFA. Guessed right. Here's an in run at Eckler. There's some big losses for yards there. He picks up 2. That 8 was -8 and the 5 -6. And, Dennis wanted one of those. There's a 4th and 1. It's exact situation. I think Wayne's going to go for it. Nope, he's going to kick. I had a feeling Wayne was going to go for it there, but he's going to go for the 2-possession lead. 2 through 9 and 12. I think it just depends on how you feel about your offense. You worry about the defense too, and that may have had something to do with it because you've got Harrison Smith and Luke Kuechly in this final playoff run, and you worry about those 6s making a stop on your runs and also in your flat zones. So definitely comes into play there. Teams are strong up the middle, a lot harder to go for on 3rd and 4th and short. So Seattle will be feeling pressure, but there's a higher sense of urgency now, down 16-6. 9.5 left in the 3rd. Ingram's got a lot of carries left, as we mentioned. It's going to be a look into Ingram. He's going to pick up 13. There's no defender. Play was guessed right, but no defender, so pick up 13 there. So at the 38, Seattle's got a first down, and they've got another one short to Preston Williams. He's got 18, beating Xavier Rhodes, 0. 12 of 18, 143 for Wilson now. So the Rams 44, you get a feeling Seattle feels they're in 4-down territory already. Linebacker Ingram, V to V, makes the play once again. So we've got a 2nd and 9 at the Rams 43. Both coaches aware of the right end run with a 4 defensive left end. It's going to be an off-tackle draw. Ingram's got 7, setting up a 3rd and 2 at the Rams 36. Big play. It's going to be a linebacker. Ingram gets wrong, and he's got the 1st down and more, picking up 9. Ingram 14 for 52 now. It's now down to 8 unfatigued carries. So he's been worked on this drive. It's probably going to get Frank Gore into the game at some point. There's 8 for Ingram. This is the drive Dennis wants to get a touchdown on. This may be a down for Gore here, 2nd and 2. And Gore does come in. It's going to be a short to Preston Williams, guessed right. 4 men in the zone. It's going to be a dump off, and Gore's going to take it and pick up the 1st down. Russell Wilson goes to the check down and picks up 7. So 13 of 19 now for Wilson, 150. Ball to the Rams 12. No blitz being shown. Wayne has been double teaming more than free safety blitzing. Eric Armstead and Myles Garrett. Michael Brockers, excuse me. Myles Garrett plays on more pronounced passing situations. It's got to be nice to have a Myles Garrett on the bench. No blitz again. Like I say, hasn't been showing blitz a whole lot. Russell Wilson would like to have that guess wrong short pass from Tyreek Hill back. Short again to Hill. 3 men in the zone. Double team elsewhere. 6 is going to make the play there. Marcus Peters making the play. So we've got a 3rd and 10 at the Rams 12. 4:48 left. These possessions are draining a lot of time. This may only be the 4th overall possession for Seattle. And there's a complete for 12 yards into the end zone, Tyreek Hill. Guess right. 3rd and long. Dennis gets a very important key touchdown. And at 16-12, he's going to try to get within 3. Robbie Gould on to make the extra point attempt. And it's good. 26-yard return on the kickoff to the 2. So the Rams are going to take over at their own 28, up 16-13. Just over 19 minutes remaining in play. Winner gets to the SOMIFA semifinals. And run left Fournette. It's going to be guessed wrong. And Fournette's going to get 12. He's getting near 100 now. 8 for 102. Fournette putting up Lamar Jackson-style rushing numbers. There's a left flat to Fournette. It's going to be guessed right. 7-yard pickup. Setting up 2nd and 3. Rams moving out near midfield. We'll take a quick look at possessions after the play. It's going to be a line by Fournette. He's going to get 4, and he's got a first down. As you see, the Rams are only on their 5th possession of the game, and Seattle's only had 5. Rams have scored field goal, touchdown, field goal. Seattle out on downs, field goal, punt, touchdown. Longed again, incomplete. Harrison Smith makes the play, and Dennis is like, that's why I traded for him. He took a all-pro level free safety to make that play, and Harrison Smith obliges. So 2nd and 10 at the 49. That's a really big stop. 29 yards would have got the Rams into field goal range and into 4-down territory for sure range had Wayne wanted to. Seattle's got a really nice secondary across the short zone. It's going to be a line but gets strong for Fournette. It's going to get 7 and sets up a 3rd and 3 at the Seattle 42. Once again, these 2 coaches that don't suit up their punters every game, and sometimes they just stay glued to the bench when they do suit up. So these are a couple coaches that usually consider going for it on 4th down if they're not in field goal range. What will Dennis do? Is he going to sell out versus the run? Consider run keys or short yardage? Or is he going to guard the flats? And what is Wayne thinking here? You don't really have the good short yardage breakers unless you go to Clay, who would be guarded by a 4, who would be a 0. And it's going to be Ted Ginn, 12-yard pickup. Got a great after the catch run there by Ted Ginn. Doesn't have a lot of big plays, but he gets his biggest one, plus 12. Didn't take that much to pick up a first down there, but yeah, we see Charles Clay with a 47 long, and he can go long. So Clay's definitely one of those guys you'll think about on short yardage situations. So at the Seattle 30, final minute of the 3rd quarter, Rams in field goal range. It's going to be a look in into an empty zone. It's going to be a sack. Carson Wentz goes down as Harold Landry gets in there. Pressure by Calais Campbell calls the sack. And once again, 7 pass blocker has been beat. 1 through 13 on the random pass rush chart. And Calais Campbell comes through and gets an 8. Harold Landry actually touched Wentz to get credit for the sack, but it was Calais Campbell creating the pressure. It was a gigantic sack after a big play by Harrison Smith. Now it's 2nd 18 at Seattle 38. 2 different downs. You can get back into field goal range here. So it's not a catastrophic as it would have been if it had been a 3rd down sack, but huge play by the Seahawks defense. There's a draw to Eckler, guessed wrong. It's going to pick up 7, gets a nice block from Graham Glasgow. And now, just depending on the wind, just inside that last good field goal range at 31, the Rams will face 3rd and 11. So it's a nice second down play for Wayne. Opens up the playbook a lot more. Six for 19 so far for Eckler, and he has the Rams touchdown as well. Tyreek Hill scored for the Seahawks. So we've got a blocking back, one halfback shotgun on 3rd and 11. Middle linebacker 6, going to make perfect contain. So you won't see him moving more than likely. And it's going to be a draw to Eckler. Picks up 2. Glasgow unable to make the block on the same reading. And on 4th and 9, here's Crosby on, and Mason Crosby comes through. All the kicks have been good so far. Rams have made 4 for 4. Seahawks 1 for 1. Actually, Seahawks 2 for 2 on field goals, excuse me. So far, 2 touchdowns each, and the Rams are up 4-2 in field goals for a 19-3 lead. And it's 14:06 remaining. Big drive for Seattle. You'd like to at least get it into field goal range here. Linebacker guessed wrong for Ingram, and he's going to get 10. Nice block there by Ryan Jensen. Would not have made that block had they been in the 3 wide receiver set. A couple of teams, like I say, stay on the ground more than most. So not going to see a panic here from either team as far as going into a all-out passing attack. It's an 11-yard pickup. Ingram, 3 catches for 33 yards. Wilson having a nice game, 15 of 23, 173, and a touchdown. Ball to 46, just under 13 minutes left. 1st and 10 for Seattle in their own territory. Ingram's carries are a little lower. He's going to run a linebacker here, and he'll get 2. Right guard Ronald Leary, unable to make the play. He's actually a great run blocker. About 4 or 5 years ago when he was on Dallas, he was one of the best, I guess you should call it second-level guard blockers in the game. A lot of times guys get out there and the guards just can't make contact with defensive backs and linebackers in space. Leary's one of those guys who would. He's agile enough, he would find a way to make the block on the second level. And he had a lot to do with Ezekiel Elliott's great rookie year. There's a guess wrong. Russell Wilson passed to Disley, gets a 1st down, gets inside Rams territory at the 43, 11:42 left. Excellent game so far. Briefly got past a 1-score game when the Rams took a 13-3 lead. But otherwise, we've had a very tight game so far. Ingram, as I mentioned, lower carries now, +1 as Wilson gets dangerously close to the middle linebacker, but is able to complete it to Disley for a yard. Ingram's down to 5 unfatigued. So he's got about 7 usable carries if Dennis wants to use those 2 fatigued carries. But he's also got a good second back in Gore. Not great, but very solid. 11:06 remaining. Seattle down by 6, 2nd and 9. Be a draw. It's going to be a great call by Wayne, and the Rams looking for the draw. Get the keyed on the draw. Had an extra man in the zone already. So it'll be a -1, setting up a dangerous 3rd and 10. 10:30 left. No guarantee, even if it's 4th and 10, Dennis would punt here. So he's staying in a run-friendly base offense. And Wayne is showing blitz here. Got the cat and mouse game. Is Wayne showing blitz to try to get Dennis to run and call run, setting up a 4th and long? Would Dennis think, I want that sniper scope at 10:30 left? I could go ahead if I could hit the sniper scope. So interesting calls here. Off track will draw left. Here's Ingram. He's going to go stopped for 0. Danny Vital, only a 4 to not make the block. It would have taken a great block, and we will see Seattle going for it on 4th and 10. Goes to the 3 wide receiver shotgun set. Ingram alone back. Ingram is a great receiver out of the backfield. He's up against a 6 in this set, though, so he's got a good defender on him. That will be Quan Alexander. Wayne showing blitz. Go big or go home. He is blitzing. It's short to Disley. There'll be 4 men in the zone. Incomplete. 3 men in the zone. Defender X or short gain. Wouldn't have made it there. Beginning play white die was a 4 after the dump off check, or not the dump off, the pass rush check. Got good blocking there. Kevin Zeitler, a 7, made the block. And so 4th down, unable to pick up the first down. Rams up 19-13, 9.5 left, have the ball at their own 43. So they've got field position and a 6-point lead. A lot of attempts for Fournette. He's going off tackle left. Guess wrong. He's got 6, setting up a 2nd and 4. Almost at midfield. 9 minutes left. No blitz being shown by Seattle on 2nd and 4. Got a double team on Clay. It's a look into Fournette, working against a 6. Pickup of 6. Fournette makes the play. At the Seattle 45, 8:24 left. Number 1 seed starting to feel a little bit more pressure here. We don't want to go down by 9. Fournette gets wrong, picks up a yard there. He's now 12 for 120. He's still got at least probably 10 carries remaining. 15 unfatigued carries remaining. There's an end run. Fournette guessed wrong, 4 yards, 3rd and 5 at the Seattle 40. And you've got the interesting dilemma now for Wayne. Is he going to go for it if it comes up 4th and short? One of the problems with punting in situations like this, it's kind of hard to get your kicker to always get the coffin corner or just, kick it somewhere between, like you would in the NFL, say, just punt it down between like the 5 and 15, way up high, and we'll get people down and keep the ball from going into the end zone. But in Strat, it's a little harder to really pin people inside the 10 if you're not at the right spot on the field. 3rd and 5 at the 40. 2 tight end Eckler, 4-3 no blitz. Linebacker Eckler maybe trying to set up a 4th down. He's not going to break contain against the 6. And Kuechly makes a great play on a white die 3, saving a 23-yard run and setting up 4th and 3. And again, these are coaches that both have gone for fourth down a lot this year. So even up 6, no guarantees. 2 tight end, Eckler, going for it on fourth down. Huge play. 6.5 left. Rams up by 6. They're not in shotgun, so Eckler could run anywhere here. It's a flat to Clay. 1 man in zone. 3-yard pickup. Defender Exer. 1 plus 3. Harold Landry gets one hand on Charles Clay, but Clay pushes forward and gets 2 more yards. So instead of +1, he gets +3, and it makes the difference on 4th and 3. So Wayne, with a very brave play call for a lot of us, take a chance on turning it over on downs to Seattle. And then a huge 15-yard pickup for Clay, gets the ball to the Seattle 20. And now you really start thinking about time. And really dangerous situation for Seattle, because they're going to have to watch time come off the clock with no opportunities at timeouts. Down by 6, very possibly down by more than 2 scores. They're going to get the ball with 3 minutes and something remaining or less. So a very dangerous situation here. And Dennis is going for the run key. See if you can force a fumble, get the fumble chance up to 9 instead of 3, guess wrong, or 6, guess right. Fournette, both hands on the ball. Graham Glasgow making the block. He's been kind of hit or miss as a 5 in this one. I believe he's missed 2 and made 2. Huge. 2nd and 4, 4:48 remaining. No blitz. Off tackle right Eckler, and he's going to get 0. Stays inside of containment possibilities, 3rd and 4, but unable to pick up anything there. So 3rd and 4, 4:12 left. 2 runs by Wayne. That's kept the clock moving, and we're down to 4:12. Mason Crosby practicing kicks on the sideline. This is not a situation Wayne would go for a 4th and 4 or 4th and 3. He's going to take the field goal and get to a 2-score lead if he doesn't pick up the first down here. So linebacker draw Eckler. He's going to need something like a block, and he gets it. Frank Ragnow making the block. And if you're watching one of those win probability graphs, the Rams' win probability went from very good to extremely good. 3:36 left. If you don't score a touchdown, you're going to force Seattle to burn timeouts. You still got a possibility of missing a field goal, but at this point, odds are definitely favoring the Rams. 3 minutes left. Seattle will have the option to use timeouts starting with the next play. And I don't like using timeouts too early, but knowing the likelihood that this is going to be a 2-score game, you almost have to think about using them here. I'm a big believer in making sure you use timeouts for your own team. It's well better for your win chances if you take some timeouts to the locker room rather than use them to give your opponent time to score. Seattle doesn't take one here. And keep in mind, if snap, fumble, missed field goal, Seattle's playing for the win. So 2:24 remaining, all 3 timeouts. There's still like 18 or 19 potential plays here. And if you're going for out of bounds and 3 timeouts left, you very likely could get 15 plays if you're Dennis. So you just got to somehow keep this a 1-score game when you get the ball back. No blitz being shown. kind of a running down in many ways, even though it's 3rd and 9. You just don't want to take a chance on a pick or a pick six when you've got the game in your favor like it is here. And we've got to run for Fournette. Great block. He picks up 6. And in the middle of the game, that'd be a nice play, possibly setting up a 4th down and try, but obviously we're in field goal territory here based on the score and the time. Gigantic field goal. All kickers have made their kicks so far. And a block. So now Seattle, 1:52 left, 16 plays maximum, need 89 yards and to get into the end zone to have a chance. And if you look at that 2 through 11, that's why you never give up and never just think this game's over or I need to go into extremely rash mode. Just got to let things play out. Things will not always occur in Stratomatic or in the NFL the way it looks like they will. 2 through 11, as Tom mentions. If you're Wayne, you're like, I do not want to lose a SOMIFA playoff game based on missing a 2 through 11 field goal opportunity. If you're Dennis, you're like, the Russell Wilson magic is still in play. 15-yard run for Ingram. Seahawks use their first timeout. So we're down to, 15 potential plays. But that can change quickly and get reduced if plays stay in bounds. So the 2 timeouts are important, but Seattle can't just look at moving the chains. They're going to need a chunk play or 2. It's very unlikely you're going to be able to run and pick up 6 or 7 first downs and have them all go out of bounds. Huge play. Ingram draws up the middle, 7 or plus 33 V to V, unable to make the play. And now Seattle's at the 41. There's the chunk play you needed. Now the chains are working your way. Conserving timeout. Seattle also to keep Wayne in a 3-3-5 potentially comes to the line of scrimmage here. Very exciting game at the Rams 41. It's another linebacker for Ingram. Nose tackle plus 3 or 7. V to V being a little winded at this point. He's getting some downs on offense and defense, unable to make the last 2 plays. And 2nd and 3 at the 34. So you're still thinking chains. I mean, the end zone, but chains is not as big a deal now that you've got the ball where you have it and the fact that you've got 1:15 still on the clock at the 34. Is there a possibility you take your big shot here and see if you can get it in the end zone? Or do you just try to get a new set of downs and less field to go by? It's going to be a linebacker. Ingram again, guessed wrong. He's got a guy in the zone, getting the block. Ryan Jensen making another block, 5 yards, or being a 5 going against the 4 for 10-yard pickup at the 24. Hurry up offense. Seattle's still got a timeout in their pocket. Now I believe Ingram's on fatigue level 2. Up to 8 plays. It's going to be a draw to Ingram again. Ryan Jensen making the block. First and 10, Rams 14, 30 seconds left. Seattle has a timeout remaining. Just about as close a game as you could hope for. a lot closer than Wayne was hoping for just a couple of minutes ago. Short to Tyreek Hill. This play's going to be near the goal line. He's going to get a must run. He's going to get 6. He's going to stay in bounds. And that's either going to force Seattle to burn a timeout, which I think they will. And so Seattle's out of timeouts with 22 seconds remaining. What a great game. I don't know if you're going to see Ingram here. I believe he's so fatigued, you may see Gore as the lone running back. And even though you're in 2nd and 4 from the 8, no timeouts, 22 seconds left, it's just a hard situation to stay in running, a full house or look at the run quite as much as you would. Offense almost knows for sure that a run has a chance to get you down to the last play of the game almost. Because at 2nd and 4, if you spike it, if you run, you're either going to have to run a hurry up or spike it, and you're going to get down to the last play or 2 of the game. So more likelihood of a pass or an outside run in a situation like this. Dennis really missing that end run column for Russell Wilson. He's had to use Ingram a little bit more than he might have had you had those 2 or 3 or 5 Russell Wilson end runs. Gigantic play. Is Wayne going to show blitz? Will he go 3-4? There's no boxes inside the 10. 3-4 blitz. Huge play. I think I see Myles Garrett in the game here. Yes. So we've got the extremely good pass rusher in. Short to Preston Williams. Incomplete. It's going to bring up 3rd. And once again, I believe you have the spike in play. I believe Wayne is aware of that. But now you really don't have the spike in play. With 15 seconds left on 3rd down, unless you picked up the 1st down, the spike won't be an option. If you pick up the 1st down, you can spike it, and with 1 second left, you'll have a play from the 1 to 4 yard line. But it's a risky play to run it here because, like I say, game over if you don't make the 1st down. 3-4 blitz, Ingram in as the lone back. Fatigue level 2. So he's going to lose 2 yards on any play off his card that's a positive. I don't see a run here. I think you've got to pass it. And it's a touchdown. Mark Ingram. Russell Wilson hits a short pass with 1 second left on the clock to tie the game at 19 with Robbie Gould coming on for the extra point. And he puts it through. And onside kick coming. Seattle's going to pull out a ultra dramatic win, 20-19 over the Rams. Heartbreaking loss for Wayne and the Rams here. You rarely see a game with that kind of a chance for one team flop. I mean, a 2-11 field goal to go up by 9 points in the last 2 minutes of the game. You missed the field goal, and the opposing teams moved all the way back down. This is one, if you're a small pet in the Unruh household, you're probably kind of hiding right now. You are in a situation with Wayne to where you've just taken one of the toughest losses you could possibly have. That's a really, really tough loss. 2-11 field goal. I mean, there's the pre-field goal chance block, and then you'll get a 97% chance. Wow. Unbelievable win for Seattle. Very, very tough loss for Wayne and the Seahawks, or Wayne and the Rams. They had a really good year. Like I say, I believe they were 7-1 in the middle 8 games. Little bit shakier in the first and last 4, but one of the strong teams in the league this year. And Wayne coached a great game. He did everything he could to get in position to win. And finally, we had a missed kick. Mason Crosby had been 4 for 4, and unfortunately, unable to make that last kick. Unbelievable. You rarely see a loss quite like that. Hey, Dennis.
What can you say after a game like that? That was just
saying
nuts.
if I was one of Wayne's pets, I would be hiding right now. That's a dangerous situation to be in if your owner has just lost a 1-point game like that. Man, a 2-11 field goal.
That's crazy. And was it a block or was it just a straight 12?
I believe it was a straight 12, and I believe they give you an extra block opportunity on those. But yeah, I believe so. And wow.
And then to get all the way down the field, really on the back of Mark Ingram, that was, I needed a lot of good rolls for that. I got that 6 to beat his 5 nose tackle, and that was intense, man.
Yeah. That +8 or +35 was the key play on the drive for sure, because then you weren't having to kind of look at long pass every down or needing a long gain. At that point, you can kind of look at it. Okay, I can manage to get a couple 3 first downs and get in the end zone now.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if you remember. It's just one of those games where you're like, I feel bad for Wayne. I mean, really, he called an excellent game with a team that wasn't as didn't have the better cards, but he sure knew how to use them, and he maximized his strengths. And went after my weaknesses. I knew he was going to go deep again, but he hit those when he, a couple of them when he did, and then just the way he mixed up his backs, and he went the first part of the game without running at all. Then boom, in the second half, he starts emphasizing Fournette a lot more, and that really had me on my heels. Especially, Fournette's got that chunky card, but it's got a couple of columns that you can consistently pick up yards, and he was doing that.
Yep, and you were in the same situation. Ingram had very few carries, like going into the second half, but then your first drive of the second half, I think Ingram had to run 6 or 7 times. You were in almost a must touchdown kind of situation, and then all of a sudden you had to kind of look at, I've got to kind of bring Gore in from time to time now too.
Yeah, I didn't really use Gore too much. I should have maybe used him a little bit more so that Ingram wasn't fatigued at the end. But he had all those drives too that ended in field goals. If he converts 1 or 2 of those to touchdowns, I have no chance. So I was fortunate in a lot of ways. He did good on third downs too. What was his 60-70% on third downs? It seemed like.
Yeah, and both of you guys are guys that'll go for it on fourth down. So I was kind of looking at, third and long. If these guys get into 4th and 4, 4th and 3, they're quite likely to go for it. And I know you did that once. I believe your first possession, you ended up 4th and 10 at the 37 of the Rams and went for it versus looking at gaining 17 yards on a bad popping quarterback kick.
Yeah, and I think that maybe I would have been better off pinning him deep to maximize my chances there. But, I also feel like I didn't take enough shots deep too, because he had a 4 covering my tight end and a 0 on my flanker there, and I just, the times I did go deep, he was doubling me. So, like I said, he just called a really good game.
He did. He wasn't
really
doing blitz a lot, but he was really nailing his double teams with the free safety in the first half.
And he got a couple sacks at least, I think 2. And like I said, just it had me off balance all game. So I'll put that one up in the, when you have those bad beats when somebody else does that to you. One of these is going to come your way once in a while. So I'll just count my lucky stars on that one and see if I can coach a little better in the next round.
Yeah, it was a really big win. I was talking about it. It's not a panic situation yet, but then on that last drive, when Wayne was coming down, you knew it. It was one of those. I believe you got an accurate key on that. You're like, I've got to have a turnover, a snap fumble. I don't want it to come down to a 2-11 field goal, but you survived it anyway. So.
Yeah, and even when I got the key, he still would like pick up 6 yards off of the center block or something like that. So yeah, that was fun. It was a good one. It was an exciting game.
Yes. And,
well, I appreciate you calling it too. I'm going to look forward to watching that one.
Yeah, it was a very fun game to watch. I think once in the game, it was a 2-score game at 13-3. But other than that, it was a 1-score game pretty much the whole way, and very tense. Like most SOMIFA games, not very many possessions. You're looking at 8 to 10 possessions, so you don't want to come up empty too much. And like you're mentioning, getting 3 instead of 7 really makes a big difference.
Yep. It was nip and tuck the whole way, and I'm lucky I had a chance there at the end, even just to have a chance. Like you said, I was trying to stop that drive out of field goal range, but when I couldn't do that, I was just like, "Come on, Crosby, shank it, roll a 12, roll an 11, roll an 11 if he was in the 12 through whatever the 10 through 22 range or whatever it is." So
yeah. And if anyway, I'm like dreading a snap fumble by Wentz there when I've got like 1st and goal inside the 10. I'm like, who else do I have at quarterback that could come in with a lower snap fumble, because that's the last thing that you want right there. And he's running guys that don't fumble much, but still, that's one of Wentz's issues. He's got a higher snap fumble, and I was just thinking about that during the last bit. It's like you at least want to make sure you get to your 2 through 11 field goal attempt, and he did, but unfortunately. Not good. And Crosby was close on a couple of other ones. He made his 10 on a 2 through 10 twice earlier in the game.
Right. And yeah, I missed that, but I just knew that that was really my only chance there at the end. And I had a snap fumble on one of Russell's plays. I think it was 3rd down or 2nd down, or I could have. No, I think it was third down, and then I went for it on 4th. But if I would have picked up the yards there, I would have gone for a field goal instead of having to go for it on 4th down. I was at like the 33, and my guys, from the 33 up is like 2-3 only. So I was trying to get into that good field goal range with a run, and it was a snap fumble. So I guessed wrong snap fumble. That cost me at least 3 points. So
yeah. But congratulations. It was a great game, and congratulations on moving on. Yeah, it looks like at this point you've got the winner of the Raiders at Jets game.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be, if Tom wins, all the top 4 seeds would have won the game. So
that's right.
It would be all chalk.
Unfortunately, I'm going to Cincinnati. On to Cincinnati, as Bill would say.
Yeah, that should be a good one. Tom or I will try to call that game, and hopefully you can jump in if Tom is playing in the next round against me. That'd be awesome.
Yep. Well, have a great Sunday. Enjoy the NFL games, and again, congratulations on the win.
I need a cup of coffee. All right. I'll talk to you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Hey.
And we're going to end the broadcast with that. Once again, a great game. We're down to 1 quarterfinal game remaining. So there's only 5 teams still alive. They happen to be the top 5 seeds. So we'll catch you on a later broadcast. Everybody enjoy the NFL today. Tim out.